Hey, welcome back. Still here, huh? Okay, well, now everything is dry. We're gonna get back into this. So, I had to glue a couple corners. I glued this corner and I glued that corner as well. So what I think I'm gonna do is glue seemed to do pretty good. So I am going to just caulk that corner instead of compounding it, waiting for it to dry. Get this sanded up. I don't have a lot of time today, so I'm just gonna try and get this sanded and cleaned up, ready for paint. So that's probably about as far as I'll get today, unfortunately, but I do have to do things other than this. So I'm gonna get right to it. All right, so this seems to, it's glued, not perfect, but there's no weight. This is the top. There's no weight on this, so I'm just gonna caulk this up. Actually, this will help keeping this together a little bit. Take you over here. I'm going to do that corner right over there. Might end up having to do these inside edges here. Reading if I do them before I sand or after. In case you want to know, this is how you clean clean my hand off. Get rid of all the gunk. You can see I'm taking most of this off. It's okay though, it's filling the gap, which is all I care about. And again, just taking most of this off. No need for 80% of it, probably 90%. And you could actually use a rag or a sponge to wet sand this easy sand. It does a really good job. I just don't want to do that because too much water on this will expand this and I don't want that. Just want to do. That's it. Okay, so caulking's done. Try and do a little bit of sanding here. I'm going to use a 150. 100 is probably definitely too abrasive for this, so I'm just going to throw a 150 pad on this. Shouldn't take too long, probably 10 minutes to sand this up. So, as you can see, there's a lot of nicks and things that ended up getting filled. That's what it'll look like. So this is ready for vacuuming. Get the major dust off, and then I'm going to tack cloth it, and then I'm going to do a primer and paint. So pretty much get to it. Alright, so I'm going to be using this thing here, tack light, or tack cloth, excuse me. These are super tacky, and they have like a resin in them. I'm trying not to touch too many things once I get this thing open because the resin is very tacky and it gets everywhere. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do still for the texture on this, but I got all my paints here. This is all primers. This is all just different primers. I'll open those up in a bit. But the idea is I mean, I have a little bit of this one left. This is a gray, dark gray. This is a light gray, and this is a blue. This sticks. This is all fresh start. This stuff will work on. This will work on walls and wood, especially interior stuff. Doesn't really much matter. This is a sticks product. This stuff is actually pretty expensive. Sticks to anything. I mean, this stuff sticks to glass. Especially if you've etched it, you can paint right over tile with this stuff. You can, porcelain tile, we painted over it. Porcelain ceramic tiles, no problem. So I'm gonna start tack clothing this thing, and yeah, you can see it's even sticks to the inside of that. And a lot of people will take this and, you know, cut these up into smaller sections. I don't really find the need to do that. What I will do is open it up a bit. All right, so there we go. So now I just crumple it up, and you can hear how tacky it is. I'm gonna crumple it up. Now we're gonna go over here and start working on this. So yeah, I'm just gonna go around the outside first. And then the reason I like doing this is because you can kind of move it around. As you can see, it's a lot of brown MDF material in here, and this would all get in the paint if this wasn't cleaned off. So I'm just gonna go the interiors one by one on these. And again, you don't have to go crazy with this, you just do it quick. As you can see, I mean, you can see how much it's picking up. I mean, this thing's gonna be covered by the time it's done. And this is the paint. You can see it's pretty, you know, getting pretty dirty already, but it still keeps picking up. The other thing is when you crumple it, it gets in the corners really well. Makes a big difference. And like I said, I mean, this is still extremely sticky. This will do this whole piece, no problem. I mean, you can use this for several pieces, to be honest, several projects if you really wanted. It's gonna be nice to get some color on this, even though it's only probably gonna be primer today. I might start getting a base coat on. I'm not sure after the primer, but we'll see. All right, so we're getting kind of busy, so I might have to actually end up helping with customers. So we'll see. Back another day. It is St. Patrick's Day, so I do have my Celtics green on. So anyways, so yeah, so finally get the painting. Tack rag is in here for later use. I'll put that over here. And again, I'm gonna use some sponge rollers. Nice little roller handle. I got my cut brush to get in the corners as needed. And yeah, just basic tools. Got some water for cleanup. And I have this little thing here, which is great. Just paint right from this pan, and then you know, cut in from that pan as well. So I am going to use the remainder of this fresh start gray. It's not too bad. It's pretty simple. I'm actually going to paint this first, just simply because it's here and I might as well paint it. Give you a different angle. With these, I don't want to, you can brush up in the corners, but you don't want to go too heavy in the corners because you'll rip the you'll rip the foam right off the roller. So it's like not worth it. If you're gonna really cut in, you're gonna cut in with a brush. Like I said, I might come back through and hit the corners with a brush, whether I do it now or a little bit later when I come back, but I'm not really sure. See how I feel. A little bit left. Yep, dry enough. We'll probably just save wrap this foam roller up, throw it in the refrigerator till next time. I am gonna just use this lighter gray primer and just get this thing primed. See if I can get this primed and painted. I got a couple hours ahead of me. Well, yeah, a couple hours. Trying to avoid some traffic, so I figure I'll just sit here and work. So, get down to it. Every time I get a panel painted on this, like this panel, this panel, this panel, it's kind of mismatched color, but it's still getting more, it's gonna be, it's getting more and more solid looking, so. All right, so let's get moving on to the outside perimeter of this thing. these corners done, then I'm gonna flip this thing over, roll out the back pretty quick, and then flip it on its side technically. So you know, I'll show you this stuff here, this thick stuff. Actually, from what I remember, this stuff here works. It's a urethane acrylic, and it actually works under epoxy. So I used it on the epoxy tables that I did, and I'm going to be doing some more of them. So I'll show you that one as well. I'm sure you've seen plenty of epoxy videos. I think I do mine a little different. All right, so I'm gonna touch these up, and then I'm gonna flip this over. I'm probably gonna have to help Jose real quick, get people on headsets. And then at that point, I'll be able to clean up. And yeah, I think I'm gonna put a coat on today. First coat of this paint, because it's 6 p.m. and I hate traffic. And so I'm gonna stay in paint through traffic.